Welcome to the Personal Project Podcast. This is a personal development podcast where I, katyarrington, discuss my personal project, me. I'm an artist and life coach, and I struggled with anxiety, depression, insecurities, self-loathing, procrastination, and so much more. This podcast is my weekly update on what I'm doing to create a better life for myself. Hey guys, welcome to episode 21. Okay, here we go. So I missed 2 weeks of uploading. Yeah, damn, the streak was broken. And, I could really make some horrible crap story, but currently I'm kind of okay with it. I'm still, I'm impressed that I was consistent for the last 20 episodes, which is pretty huge for me because I always stop at the third occurrence whenever I do something, any kind of challenge, any kind of episodic or something that I'm supposed to do every week or every day. I always stop at the third. It's like my curse number. But I made it to 20 in a row, so I'm pretty cool with that. But as you can hear, my voice is kind of weird. You might not have recognized me. And yeah, that's kind of what we'll be talking about because this podcast is going to be a reflection of an event that I held recently called the Procrastination Challenge on Instagram. And it was my first ever event where I decided to go live for 7 days and talk about procrastination and help people with procrastination. And I just want to talk about what I learned from it, from kind of deciding to do something really quickly. I had an idea and I decided to do it and all that good stuff. And overall, it was very much a success. I had a criteria of what I would call or how I would consider if it was a failure or a success. And I met almost all of them, but I'm cutting myself some slack on one of them because I got ill. But essentially, it was a success because I went live for all 7 days. Cool. And then I also created a workbook for each day. Cool. And then I did a giveaway at the end. Cool. And then I also did the for funsy kind of thing where I asked people, hey, let's vote on the first 7 things, 7 activities I do when I go to Bali. And I didn't do all of those different places. I didn't visit to all of them. But I'm giving myself some slack there because I got sick. Also, I think the one that was the main thing for me is that I had a goal of I wanted 10 people to be at the final day. Because I know, when you first start something, the numbers dwindle. And so I had a feeling that on the first day, it'll be all right. There'll be, a good number. But I was really, really hoping that by the end, on the 7th day, when I was doing the giveaway, there would be 10 people. I had about 20. So I'm really, really proud and excited about that. Thank you again so much to everybody who showed up. It really, really means a lot. I'm super proud of everyone whose usernames I saw more than once. That's just so amazing. But also, I hope you're proud of yourself and, all that good stuff. So overall, it was totally a success. However, there was so much failure, you guys. The event itself to me was a success, but I kind of feel like I failed myself a little bit. However, I got to the place, I've coached myself where I got to the place where I'm not making that mean a bad thing, I guess. If you were at the challenge, you know that in day 4, we talked all about how to fail and how to love failure. Failure is truly the path to success. But our problem is that we make failure mean something really horrible and mean about ourselves. And so we get very, very afraid of failure, even though we could totally make a deal with ourselves to not be mean, right? That we could totally have self-care. So at first, I was making it mean something bad about me. I kind of went into some dark paths, but that tends to happen when your brain is tired, is your brain wants to do whatever is automatic or easy. And for a lot of us, I think almost 99% of us, being negative is what's automatic. Which makes sense because like 2 million years ago, being negative kept us alive. But now it's not so useful. Anyway, so I was making it mean things like, oh my God, like, I was going down like, really doubting myself, really thinking like, can I really do anything in the future? Do I really have business, like being a coach, if I struggled so much, all that kind of stuff. But then, oops, sorry. But then I coached myself and I got to the place after some rest as well. And after some recovery, I am actually so freaking grateful that I did this event. And I'm so freaking grateful that I did this event because then I like had this opportunity to fail and really see the things that, like the drawbacks. And it was kind of like, I have this thought right now, like I'm so thankful that I know this about myself now rather than later on. Like I'm so glad I'm learning about it now so that I can really start making some changes. Okay, so here's how I believe I failed. So up until the event and during the event, except for the live stream itself, I was quite miserable, to be honest. The live stream itself, I was having so much fun. Like I have my material and I was just kind of like in the zone. Like this is kind of my zone of genius personally. Everyone has a zone of genius, which is like, where are you like totally in flow and you totally know what you're talking about and it feels like you're just channeling energy or you're just channeling like wisdom from like out of your ass or something. But like, it's like when I'm on the live stream, it totally feels like natural and I was having so much fun talking about all of this stuff and sharing this stuff. But outside of it, I was pretty freaking everything. Doubtful, scared, miserable, agonized, like hope, so many things, so many negative emotions. I was just so freaking scared of failing. I really was. And failure to me was that like I kept imagining the scenario of two people, let's say, showing up on the last day while I do a giveaway and then it would be crickets, right? Like I would be doing a giveaway and being like, oh my God, I'm so excited for this person. And then like, it would just be crickets. Like I was so scared of that. But amazingly, literally the opposite happened. Like, okay, I had around 20 people. And then not only was the person like there, like they were in the chat being like, oh my God, that's me, which is amazing. It's so fun to see somebody like actually be there. And then also it was somebody that participated a lot, which is so awesome because that's what I really wanted. And that's why I incentivized, putting in your homework and all that kind of stuff so that more likely somebody who did the work, somebody who participated and put themselves forward, like won. And that's exactly what happened, which is, I'm just so, so happy that happened. And to me, when I saw that happen, I was just like, I knew it. I knew I should have done this. I knew this was the right decision. Like this totally made it worth it. Another scenario that I imagined was like, that there would just be like there would be some days where 0 people would be watching, or at least some minutes or something where 0 people would be watching, and I still had to be super excited and finish the stream because I know that some people will watch the replay, but then they will see the replay and look at the view count, right? They can see how many people are watching, and then they would just feel sorry for me that I'm talking to an empty room. And then they're not even going to be able to focus on the content because they're just so busy feeling sorry for me. And oh my God, like that was like my biggest fear. So it's not failure in itself. It was like what other people thought of me, right? Like I was just so scared of people pitying me, I guess. So yeah, there was a lot of thoughts there. But like anytime that we're afraid of what other people think, really what's happening is we're just afraid of what we think of ourselves. So where I really feel like I failed myself is not that I was struggling, but is that I totally did not coach myself at all. Like I threw that completely out the window. I kept thinking that I didn't have any time, I had so much to do, and every minute had to be taken up by this. I totally did not touch my morning routine, which is my moment of like that is my time for self-coaching, where, you know, I do thought downloads, I do models, I really like take a look at my thoughts, and I try to help myself see things in a different perspective, try to help myself think differently so that I can generate a different feeling. Instead, I was just overworking like crazy. And overworking is totally a form of procrastination. It totally is, because you just completely spread yourself thin. You procrastinate on the things that are really important, and then in the end you end up having to like take a break because of either burnout or, like me, getting sick halfway around in the challenge. I mean, that makes sense because my sleep totally suffered, you know, and if I'm low energy, I have so many, you know, like so many thoughts. And the reason I'm low energy is not because of the challenge. It's not because of the work. The reason I was so low energy and the reason I was so zapped, like my energy was zapped away from me, was because of my thoughts. That's it. That is the reason why I was so low energy. I mean, then because I was low energy and kind of stressing out, then I like that it didn't give me good sleep, so that even, you know, made my energy even lower. But I just want to make it clear to anybody, right, who wants to go after their dreams and wants to do something that scares them, and, you know, like do an event or whatever, right? Anything. Make a comic book, right? And give yourself a deadline. The work or whatever it is that you decide to do is not going to be the reason that you are miserable or like low energy, low vibration. It's always because of your thoughts. Always, always, always. Because there are plenty of people who are working insane hours and don't get burnout, are not low energy. They're just high energy like crazy. And it's because of their thoughts. That's seriously it. It's never the work. It's never their circumstance. So, I mean, I got to this place and I got to, you know, I needed to coach myself here. But at the moment, I was so tired and I was really kind of like losing trust in myself. I was kind of thinking like, oh my God, like, well, you know, why did I do this to myself? I don't want to use the word traumatized because it's a little bit intense, right? That's kind of like extreme, but I just kind of was like so scared of like me doing this to like, you know, me doing this to myself again, possibly doing something else in the future where I'm gonna make myself miserable and then I'm not gonna take care of myself. I'm gonna get myself sick. It's a scary experience, you know. But again, when your brain is tired, it wants to go to negative places because it's just easier. It takes less effort. So I was just. Yeah, I was kind of really like thinking I lost trust in myself, which is not a great place to be, right? But after some rest, I really know that my biggest problem, 100%, was that I didn't coach myself, that I really believed my thoughts, that I didn't have time, that all this kind of stuff, that I don't have free time, you know, like. I was really identifying with my thoughts and I did not coach myself at all. I didn't do any thought downloads, all that kind of stuff. And now, this is why I'm so thankful that I learned this about myself, right? Because I thought I was so good on my self-coaching before. I thought I was good on it. But then I decided to do this event and now I really understand how freaking important it is to coach myself. And to be in awareness. So now I feel like my self-coaching, at least I'm practicing on having it on another level. Like before, it's not that I was half-assing it, but it was feeling like, okay, I'm checking things off, right? Like, okay, I did my 10 gratitudes, and then I did my my thought download today, and then I did my model. But now I'm like really like, okay, what is seriously going to help me? What feeling do I want to generate? what thoughts do I want to think? What is going to be useful for whatever result I want to create? Like, it's like, I think I'm gonna be so much more sophisticated about it. It's gonna be so much less than like, okay, did my thought download, cool. Now I did my one model, cool. Now I did another thing, cool. Done, right? Morning routine, done. No, I feel like I'm gonna be so much more strategic about it. And so this is why I think day 4 was my favorite topic. I told people on the challenge, like, day 4 is my favorite topic. It's about how to fail, because this is where, like, oh my God, this is where the magic is. When we make failure not mean anything about us, or at least we get to a place where we don't make it mean anything about us, then we can look back and really see, where did we fall short? And not like get hurt by it, right? Like really see it like a scientist. It's like, okay, what do I do next time? I think that's really where the magic happens, right? Like that's really where you can improve like crazy fast. So now I'm like, oh my God, my self-coaching is going to be so different. And the way I see it is going to be so different. It's going to be, I think it's still going to be fun, but it's definitely going to take a bit more energy, right? It's going to be a bit more like I'm really going to be scrutinizing what it is that I'm going to need to like help myself. But you know what? You bet that there's going to be a round 2 for a procrastination challenge. I already knew I was going to do that, but now it's really like, it's totally going to be bigger and better. And I'm also going to be so strict about making sure that I'm really taking care of myself, because like I look back on this procrastination challenge and it's like, it's amazing. I'm so happy I did it, but I really missed out on a lot of the fun I could have had. I was just so deep in worry, deep in fear, and it could have been so much more fun. It was already fun, especially during the live stream, but all the other times could have been just so much more fun. And that was my first procrastination challenge, and I'll never get another first, So it's like anytime that we are doing anything for the first time, it's like, we could have really enjoyed it. At least I could have really enjoyed it. But now I'm really, really looking forward to my second one. And not because I'm looking forward to like creating a success, but I'm really looking forward to really kind of leading by example of like, I can have so much fun doing hard things. Like I can have so much fun and enjoy myself doing something that scares me. I can have so much fun and not procrastinate. So it's like, yeah, I totally procrastinated on the procrastination challenge this round. But I also got a coaching session with my own coach about that, and I was able to see how me struggling with procrastination this round, I think it makes me an even better teacher because I really get it, and I really am going to understand how to get myself out of it. And I'm really excited to take everything that I've learned and move forward with it. But that's really the main lesson. The main lesson for me is just like, self-coaching is freaking important, period. Taking care of our mental health is important, period. Because what's the point in doing anything if you're not enjoying it? Like, yes, we're willing to be uncomfortable, and we have to be willing to be uncomfortable, but being miserable and misery is not being uncomfortable. That's just self-torture, because you know that you can get yourself out of it with self-coaching. Anyway, okay, so that's what I have this week. Thank you again so much to every single person that showed up. It really sounded like from the feedback that I got, it really sounded that it was really helpful. And as usual, like I always talk about, how this whole coaching work really changed my mind and really helped me. So if anything resonated with you here, like please get on the phone with me. I promise I'm so freaking nice. I'm so nice. And you don't have to wait until you're like in misery, right? To get some shit done, to take a look at your mind, to make changes. You really don't have, because a lot of people, that is what happens, right? Like we wait until we're at rock bottom. We don't have to do that. We could actually create what we want so much sooner instead of waiting for that. But yeah, okay, so get on the phone with me. Like, it's gonna be really good, I promise. I think you'll be surprised by what you learn. Okay, thanks again, guys, for listening. Yeah, all right, see you later. See you next week.
Thanks so much for listening, guys. If you want to get some deep, personalized mindset work done, DM me on Instagram or book a free coaching call in the link in the description. You get to relax and get things off your chest in a safe, judgment-free zone. I promise I'm super nice and friendly. If you like my work, you can follow me on Instagram at Katie Illustrates. And if you like success mindset and confidence inspiration, you can follow me at my coaching Instagram at katyarrington. Have a badass day today, make yourself proud, and I'll talk to you next week.